Hello guys, welcome back to Java Python Interview Hub. In this video, master C programming interviews with realistic mock scenarios. In today's videos, we will discuss 30 realistic C programming mock interview scenario. Perfect for the freshers, it will build confidence and you will definitely crack your interviews. Get expert guidance on how to answer common C interview questions in real world interview format. Do not forget to subscribe, like and comment your doubts below. So, in this scenario, interviewer will ask, welcome to the interview. Let's begin with the basics. What is C language and why is it still relevant? So candidate will give answer, thank you. C is a procedural programming language developed in the early 1970s. It's powerful, efficient and close to hardware, making it ideal for system programming, embedded systems and the OS development. Interviewer, good. Can you name some real world applications written in C? Candidate, yes. Operating systems like Unix, embedded systems, device drivers, and compilers like GCC are developed in C. So, it will move to the next question. Interviewer, what are the basic data types supported in C? Candidate, C supports int, float, double, char, and derived types like array, pointers, structures, and union. Interviewer, excellent. What is the size of int typically on a 64-bit system? Candidate, on a 64-bit system, an int usually takes 4 bytes. So, interviewer, can you explain what a pointer is and how it's used in C? Candidate, sure. A pointer is a variable that stores the memory address of another variable. It's used for dynamic memory allocation, arrays, functions and structure. Interviewer, what does int star ptr is equal to #2? Candidate, it declares a pointer ptr to an integer and assigns it the address of the variable. Right? Now, for the next question, interviewer, what's the difference between an array and a pointer in C? Candidate, arrays are a fixed size collection of elements while pointers can point to any memory location. Arrays use contiguous memory. Pointers can traverse or allocate dynamically. Interviewer, is array of I equivalent to pointer into bracket ARR plus I? Candidate, yes, both expressions access the same memory location. For the next question, interviewer will ask you, how does dynamic memory allocation work in C? Candidate, it uses functions like malloc, calloc, realloc and free from stdlib.h to allocate and deallocate memory at runtime. Interviewer, what happens if you forget to use free? Candidate, it leads to memory leaks where memory is reserved but not returned to the system. So, for the next question, interviewer will ask, what is a null pointer? Candidate, a null pointer is a pointer that doesn't point to any memory location. It's often used to initialize pointers safely, like int star ptr is equal to null. You can also find the example below. Okay, so for the next question, interviewer, can you explain what a dangling pointer is? Candidate, a dangling pointer points to a memory location that has been freed or deleted. Using it can cause undefined behavior. You can also find the example below. For the next question, what is a function pointer in C? Candidate will give answer. It's a pointer that points to the address of a function, useful for callback mechanisms and dynamic function calls. Interviewer, can you declare one? Candidate, yes. Void into bracket star function pointer bracket complete into again bracket int, that is a data type, is a pointer to a function taking an int and returning void. You can also find example below. So next question will be, why would you use a linked list over an array in C? Candidate, arrays have fixed size and costly insertion and deletions. Linked lists are dynamic and allow efficient memory usage and easy insertion and deletion. Simple answer. Now for the string functions, interviewer will give you question, name a few standard string handling functions in C. Candidate, strlen, strcpy, strcmp, strcat from the string.h library. And you can get all the basic example of all these functions in your screen. Now next question will be, what is a structure in C? Candidate, a structure is a user defined data type that groups variables of different types under a single name. Interviewer, can you give the syntax? Candidate, yes. Struct person into bracket character name with a 20 length integer age. Yeah, you can get a different example in your screen also. Now next question from the interviewer, what is the difference between structure and union in C? Candidate, in a structure each member has its own memory. In a union, all members share the same memory space, making it memory efficient. Now for the next question, what is the use of typedef in C? You can give answer. It allows us to create a new name for existing data types. For example, typedef unsigned int uint. You can also get the detailed example in your screen. Now for the next, what are the storage classes in C? Candidate, auto, register, static and extern. They define the scope, visibility and lifetime of variable. This is one of the most important question. For the auto, it is a default storage class for local variables, scope local to the block and lifetime till the end of the block. For the register, it suggests compiler to store in CPU register, scope local to the block and lifetime till the end of the block. For the static, it preserves value between function calls, scope local to the block and lifetime throughout program execution. And for the extern, references variables defined elsewhere, scope is global and lifetime is throughout program execution. For the static variable, interviewer will ask you the question, what is the use of a static variable inside a function? Candidate, it retains its value between function calls and initialized only once. Right? For the recursion, interviewer will ask you the question, what is recursion? Give an example. Candidate, when a function calls itself used in problems like factorial, Fibonacci and the tree traversal. Interviewer, any risk? Candidate, yes. Stack overflow if there is no base case. Right? For the header file, what are header files in C? Candidate, header files contain declarations of functions and macros. For example, hash include studio.h, include standard input output function, and you can get basic libraries and their basic functionalities in your screen. So the next is macro versus function. Candidate, macros are pre-processed, functions are compiled. Macros don't check type while functions do. Macros are faster but unsafe. So, for the preprocessor directives, interviewer will give you question, what are preprocessor directives? Candidate, instruction like hash define, hash include and hash if executed before compilation. Right? Hash include different types of header file you can include with it. Hash define create macros and the constant. Hash if, hash else, hash and if, it is a conditional compilation. Next question would be, what is an enum in C? Candidate, enum is used to assign names to integral constants to improve code readability. For example, enum week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? For the bitwise operator, what are bitwise operators in C? Candidate, operators that work at bit level, and or exponential, right, tilde, double less than, and shift right, shift left, right? So these are the different bitwise operators. In file handling, how do you read and write files in C? Candidate, using fopen, fclose, fread, fwrite, fprintf and fscanf from studio.h. So fopen opens a file and returns a file pointer. Fwrite or fprintf writes data to the file. Fread or fscanf reads data from the file, and fclose closes the file and releases resources. Okay, so what does r plus mode in fopen means? Opens file for both reading and writing. The file must exist, and you can also see a different file modes are in your screen and with the usage. Now interviewer will give you one question, can you explain the compilation process in C? Candidate, 4 stages: pre-processing, compilation, assembling and linking. Right? Now interviewer will give you the question, what cause a segmentation fault? Candidate, accessing memory not allocated or dereferencing a null or wild pointer. Right? And different the usage. Now the const keyword. What does const mean in C? Candidate, it defines read-only variables. Trying to change them results in a compile time error. Now, what is a volatile keyword? Candidate, tells the compiler that the variable may be changed externally and prevents optimization. You can also get the details on your screen. For the inline function, does C supports inline functions like C++? Candidate, not directly in standard C, but some compilers support it as an extension. Right? You can also get the details of the standards and the extension on your screen. Now, how can you detect memory leaks in C? Candidate, using tools like Valgrind or by writing code that tracks malloc free calls. Right? You can also get the details about Valgrind, custom tracking and the static analysis on your screen. So for the real world, interviewer will give you the question that have you worked on any real world projects in C? Candidate, yes. I have built a small CLI based library management system and a banking simulation using file handling and structures. Library management system, CLI application with file based database, features book tracking and borrow management. For the banking simulation, you can tell account management with transaction history, used structures and file handling for the persistence. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Level up your interview skills. More videos on Java and Spring Boot interview, Python programming question and answer, C and DSA mock interviews, SQL and manual testing preparations. Got questions? Drop them in the comments. New videos every week. Stay tuned. Subscribe now to Java Python Interview Hub. Thank you very much guys for watching.